Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kayla Fahey-Ahrndt, and today I'm going to be demoing how to create a planner Kanban board in Microsoft Teams. I get a lot of questions about how to create a planner, what's the best way to do it, what types of planners to use, how it's different from Tasks, the Microsoft Tasks app that I'm showing here or the To-Do app at the bottom of the screen here. And so I'm going to demo all of that and show you how to integrate it into Outlook. So let's just get down to it. So when you're in Microsoft, and if you are a company or have a work for an organization that use Microsoft, the way that the teams are organized is that you'll have a team or a channel, and it's going to be under chat. They used to list teams here on the left menu, but they moved everything in chat. So make sure that you are in chat. You can just toggle to have only your channels on or have everything on. What you want to do is time there's a team or a channel created, there's always a general section. You can add more, but let's just say you go into any of these sections and you want to make a planner. So what you want to do is you have to actually add the planner app to this channel or this section. So you want to hit add a tab, this plus bar here, and then you want to find planner. So like it's here for me because I typed it in already, but you can search, just type in any app and you'll find planner. And then it's going to ask you if you want, it's going to like tell you a little bit about it. It says get organized. You're going to hit save. And then it's going to ask you, do you want to create a new plan or add an existing plan? So if you already have plans created in other areas or in other channels, if you hit add existing plan, it'll have a drop down here and it's going to have options for plans you've already made. So I actually did a test earlier just to like test that my new Teams was working. And so if I wanted to, I could click add to channel and it would be there. But we're not going to do this. We're going to start from scratch. So what we're going to do is create a new plan. Now, it's really nice. Microsoft gives you these options. They all pretty much look the same. You can click see all templates and check it out. But what we're going to do is hit basic. All right, so this is where you get to name your plan. So we're going to do test plan KFA and hit create. So the way Microsoft does it is they allow you to have a grid or a board view. The scheduled view is going to end up being a calendar. So any tasks that you have scheduled that will show up here, as well as charts. It'll actually show you how many tasks you have left, how many people are assigned to what task. It's kind of nice for data and information. So the way things open initially is in the board view or in the grid view. And these two ways are just different ways of looking at things. Grid, I will say, is more like a list. Board is what I like to call a Kanban board. So there's various buckets. To do is the default bucket they add for you, and then you can add a new bucket. So how I like to think about this is you can have a Kanban board for your daily tasks, but you can also have a Kanban board for projects. You can have a Kanban board for just one project and kind of moving it through the flow of whatever steps you have. So let's kind of start with a major project board. And there's just some categories I love. So there's sort of like projects that are on deck, maybe let's say project ideas or to categorize. The next bucket I love to have is like planning. And you can also think of this as on deck. You're getting ready to do the project, but you're not quite there yet. Doing, I'm actually spending dedicated effort on this project. I also love to have a bucket for pending feedback, waiting on follow-up. You can make these shorter, whatever works best for you. So a lot of times when you're doing projects or tasks, you're completing a task and then you're sort of waiting for someone to get back to you. So I love to have a dedicated bucket for that. And then you might have, the things doing, maybe you're checking and adjusting. And then once that project is finally done or implemented, you can see just done, completed, whatever you want to call it. That way you have a lane to move projects to when they're done so they don't crowd the rest of the board. This is a lot of categories. You don't have to do it this way. I just kind of like organizing my brain this way. So that's how you make buckets. It's super simple. They're at the top and they're bold. If you come to the grid view, you're not going to see your bucket. So that's the difference with the grid view. There's no bucket in the list view. That's why I really like boards. Now, all you're going to do, like you see, to add a task, or you could a part of a project or a whole project, you click that button. And so this automatically gives you a little card to just get started. So I'm just going to call this project number 1. And you can name it anything you want. You can select the due date here and assign someone to it here as well, but you don't have to. And then you just hit add task when it's ready. Now, that's just creating this card, but what you can do is actually click on it and you're going to bring up the full card. So this gives you all the different options. So just let's quickly go over all the different things that you can do. So again, here is where you would add or assign people. So if you're working on a team, if this person is in this channel, for example, this KFA Consulting General channel, if I had other team members, you could type their name, or you can assign projects to yourself. It's a great way to help you stay accountable. Then you can add labels. I really love that there are so many different colors for labels. What I find though is that it's best to go ahead and just edit the names of these. So I'm going to say 2025. Let's just say Q4 priority. You can call it whatever you want. Like I was starting to say, I find that when you change the names here, it's not going to assign it at the same time. So you have to go back and go in there and assign it. You could also just assign it and then go and edit the label. So it's just kind of a weird thing that I noticed when I've been using this so much. So that's what the label is going to look like. When I close out of this, it's cool. The label will show up here. So if I'm moving the bucket or the project anywhere, I can see that priority. You can also click on it and it makes it just a color. So it makes it smaller. So whatever way that you like it to look and organize it. Again, the buckets that you have made all the way across the top are actually going to show up here. So if I'm in the card updating it, I can hit done and completed, and that's actually going to move it all the way over here. Also, to complete or done a project, you click it and it actually hides it and crosses it out. You can change this. You can make it so that your projects that are completed don't automatically hide themselves. It's up to you. But I'm going to move that back over. Actually, we'll go in here and do it by this. All right. And then as you start projects, you can hit this down arrow and choose not started, in progress, or completed. That's the same way that we just done it on the outside. We can do it here inside the card. In progress is going to show sort of like the halfway mark, the circle halfway filled in. You also have the option to choose the priority. So if you click urgent, when I come here, you're going to see it's got the little bell. So it's going to give you really nice visuals on the outside of the card. So you can tell if this is high or low priority. It's not going to have a priority here if it's low. So let's say urgent. Start date is when you start working on it. These are all optional, right? So if you want to leave this open, you can. Otherwise, let's say we're going to start it today. And let's say it's going to be due next Saturday. And it does not repeat. Microsoft is cool. It actually has in here a repetitive task. So if you say this is due on the 26th and I go in there and I complete the task and I have it repeating daily, it's going to assign this task for the next due date of the 27th, or it's going to do weekly. So maybe a week from the day that I complete it. So there's custom options here. So play around with that a little bit. It's nice. It's a way to make it recurring. That's a little bit more automated. All right. So whenever you select a due date, it's going to show up here. If let's say you said it was due, let's say it was due the 18th. Now it's showing red because it's overdue. So it is going to give you that visual that it's overdue. And if you have things toggled correctly or however you want them toggled, Microsoft can send you an email saying like you have overdue tasks. So sometimes that's appreciated, sometimes it's not. So it's just up to you, however you want to think about it. All right, now here's the notes section. We can type notes here. You can put links here. It's up to you, whatever you want. And you can actually click show on card and those items are going to show here. So it just depends on how much clutter or not clutter you want to show. If you have a lot of projects, sometimes it's just nice to have it off because then you don't have a large card. Because if you do have a lot here, there will be more showing. However, it does limit it at some point because it's just too much. And then in each project or card is a checklist, or you can think about them as subtasks. Subtask number 1, and you just type in here and click enter to make a next subtask. You can do pretty much as many as you want. Now, the only limitation I would say with these is that there are a limited number of characters. So at some point, this will cut you off. So I'm typing and nothing else is happening. So it is limited. I don't know how many characters that is. So just so you know, you can also do show on card or not. So like you can see them here as well. And then you can see 0 out of 3. So you can come here and check that one of them is done, or you can come inside and actually open the card and check them off. And then you get kind of a progress line, which is super nice. Now down here, you can also add attachments. So you can just grab them from your computer. So if I do from computer, you're going to have your Windows Explorer open, and then you can, let's say I can go in my career Kickstart course and I can grab a PDF or whatever here, and it's going to attach it. Looks like this is a PNG. So once it's loaded, again, you can show this on the card. It's going to be larger over here or not. And then once it's loaded, you can click on it, and then it's just going to open for you. And then you just close out. You can also add attachments from Teams. So directly in your Teams, if you know where this item that you're looking for is, you can go ahead and find it. And then you can also link to a URL. So let's say I have something like I wanted to link to my website. I can do www.kfaconsulting.org, and then and I can also like name it, so I can call it my website, whatever you want, and then it's going to be linked here. So then I just click and it's going to link right to my website. So that's pretty cool. So I do appreciate that. All right, and then comments here. Comments are going to be time-stamped, whereas notes will not be. So if I type a note here, there is no logging or timestamp of whenever I added that note, but there are for comments. So let's put a comment in here. Now, when I do comment number 1 and send, it's going to show up here. So I know I created this task at this date and time, and then I know when I commented. So that's kind of cool. The other thing is, if you're subscribed to this channel or your team members are subscribed and have their settings on in a certain way, they may get emails when there are comments if they are assigned to the project. You can also, I believe, tag people. And I don't know if it's going to work for me, but you can give it a shot. If people are assigned to this project, it may let you tag them. Otherwise, it will probably send them an email. So you just want to check into that. So that's really how you use this. You can also move this task to a different plan if you have more than one plan. You can copy link to task and send that to somebody. And if somebody has access to this plan and you send them this link, they can go right to it. And the other cool thing is you can copy this task. So let's say you have a project template where you kind of default certain things, you have default tags, and you want to make a copy, or you have a similar project. So you just hit copy task and you can do project number 2, change the name, keep the plan, or change the plan. You can decide what things are going to be duplicated over, and turn things off, and then hit copy. And then it'll say task copied. And now you'll see this second task is here as well. Same thing. It's all the same. Whatever I chose to remain the same is there. So that's super nice. Now, when you think about using Kanban boards or grid lists with due dates and people assigned to it, we often think about, okay, well, I need to remember to go here to this board to tackle these assigned tasks or projects. And so, yeah, that's true. And if you're really good at that, then you'll have no problem. Some people struggle with this. And what I've learned is that you can actually connect this Teams channel with your Outlook. So I want to show you that real quick. All right, so now I'm in Outlook. It's normally going to default to your inbox. Over here on the left-hand side menu, you're going to see the To-Do app is already there. This should be pretty standard now. Now, when you click on it, Microsoft has some default things like lists that you can ignore, you can delete. I haven't done that yet because this is pretty new. But it's also going to have something called My Day, Important, Planned, and Assigned to Me. These happen to be pretty much all the same. Now, My Day is going to take all the tasks that you have across your Kanban boards in your teams, or even if you manually inputted it in here, or I'm going to show you if you're using the Microsoft To-Do app, it's going to take anything that has a due date in it, and if that thing is due today, it's going to show up in the My Day. And that's why when you saw this planner, there's a little sunshine here. It's due today, and that's why, because it's part of My Day. So these little icons, the sun is also aligning with the sun that you're going to see here in the My Day in Outlook. So I hope that kind of makes sense. So as you can see, project number 1, if I click it, it's going to open this side pane and show me that task. And then it's also linked to open in Teams. So everything is linked. You just kind of have to know how to get to it and where it is. I also had made a task earlier in a different planner, that basic test one that I was showing you, and assigned it to myself, and it's there. I had deleted it. I didn't actually archive it for real, so it's still showing up. Planned, same thing. It's going to have it here because it's for today. And then assigned to me, it's also going to show these tasks are assigned to me, but it's going to show everything, like I said. So like this one's showing even though it doesn't have a due date of today, because it's everything that's assigned to me. So if you're making a Kanban board, but you make a task that's not assigned to you, let's say we do project number 3, it's not going to go anywhere besides right here. It's not going to all of a sudden be, even if I refreshed, it's not going to be here in the planner because there's nothing, it's not saying that it's mine. It's not saying that it's for my day. So it's not there. So I just wanted to show that that's kind of how you can sync. If you're in your email, if you're using Outlook a lot, you'll see the ones with due dates on My Day, and then you'll see the ones that are assigned to you here. So that is a great way for you to kind of keep track if that's something you're interested in. All right, let's go back to the planner really quick. So let me show you. I kind of showed you before how you can just move the cards to each bucket however you want. You can also open them up and move them around based on the bucket here. But I wanted to share with you the schedule now that we actually have due dates in here. You can see project number 1 is starting this day, ending this day. So if I were to change it and make it longer, let's say I started it last week, in the schedule, it's actually going to show here. So it's kind of nice if you're working with a team or even yourself to see, okay, I have this project and maybe you have 2 projects. So let's go into project number 2 and make them overlap. So we'll just do the 17th through the 19th. And now it's showing that there are 2 projects on that day. I wonder if I make this bigger, if I'm able to. I would love to make the calendar bigger. There we go. You can actually move this over. So now it's kind of like a Gantt chart, except in the calendar, you can see there's 2 projects and they overlap here. So don't be afraid to toggle around. You can see that you can make this smaller. This one, I don't know if this menu moves away, but that would be something for me to explore in one of the next videos. And then in charts, you can see I've got 2 projects in this bucket, 1 in this bucket. 2 are marked urgent, 1 is medium. I have 3 tasks left, 1 in progress, 2 not started. You can see the ones that are sort of like over here in the buckets. And then if you scroll down, you can actually see 2 are assigned to me and 1 is unassigned. So this is a great way if you're leading a team or managing your own work to see, okay, I have this many tasks compared to everyone else. And it's just a great way to keep an eye on it to make sure that you're level loading. All right, the last thing I want to show you is the Microsoft To-Do app. It's not technically part of the Kanban board, But again, as I was showing you in the Outlook app, you saw that there was a task that was part of my day. Project number 1 is from my test plan. This is my same Microsoft Teams project that we were showing you. Same thing. If you click on it, it opens here in the window and you can see it. If I add a task, new task for today, 7/19, right here in the Microsoft To Do app. It's a different app. It's going to show up here in my day as well. And then when I'm over here in Outlook, it's going to show in here as well. And that's because this app here, the To Do app, is the same app as this. This is the desktop app for Microsoft To Do. So I know people get confused with Planner because it used to be called Task by Planner. And when you think of tasks, you think of to-do lists. So don't get confused. Microsoft Planner is more to be, you can think about it, you can use it in many different ways, but I like to think about it as organizing my projects with subtasks and tasks with inside of it. You can use Microsoft To Do more for those like smaller tasks, but it's really up to you. If you want a video of me specifically comparing, okay, this is a specific board and how to set it up for projects, and this is how to use the Microsoft To Do app, I would love to do a bigger comparison of how to use each. And if you are interested in more on this topic, definitely subscribe, like the video, and then check out the description because I have an ebook in there all about how to set up your projects and your tasks using Microsoft Planner. And it has the planner types I think you should have, the buckets, and how you should use them all in there. So if you're just like, I just need somebody to tell me exactly what to do, then I do that in the ebook. So go ahead and download that, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.